titled Brothers in Arms. Yeah, I've got some explaining to do. Sorry it's been so long since the you know what? Because the episodes are so long. But anyways, let's get into the bounty hunters through the Defiance. Cathian drops a locket that explodes, injuring several people. Nolan knocks him down and arrests him. The bounty hunter turns out to be a friend of Nolan's and a former comrade in arms named Eddie, played by Robert Stewart. Eddie tries to convince Nolan to give him the outlaw, but Nolan takes him under custody instead. Tommy, played by Duchesne Williams, identifies the Cassian as Paul Mattis, played by Daniel Cash, the person who designs many weapons, telling Nolan while Yule, played by Trina Ketting, is he asks if the people of Defiance know about her involvement in the Pale Wars. He is threatening her that if she doesn't help him escape, then he'll tell someone else. Really, I have to stop here and just say I thought Yule was a he at first, but she is very suspicious in this episode, and Mattis even ends up escaping later on. So I think she had something to do with it, and I think she'll have a bigger part in the plot later on in the series. Later, a bag of powder is dropped through the cell window that Mattis can use to escape. It's unknown who dropped the bag. Nolan suspects that the person who dropped the bag was Eddie, but Eddie convinces him that he was not involved, and they start searching for Mattis together. Meanwhile, an early public representative, Connor Lang, played by Gail Harold, arrives in Defiance to take Mattis, and Amanda, played by Julie Benz, attempts to negotiate Mattis's extradition. Connor, with who Amanda seems she had something in the past, tells her that the Earth Republic wants Mattis to tear down the city apart. They'll tear the city apart and find Sorry about that. Mattis, after his escape, goes at Daytek's, played by Coney Curran, house, forcing him to help him escape from the town. Daytek, not having a second choice, drives him out of Defiance, but they are stopped by Nolan Irissa, played by Stephane Leonidas, Tommy, and Eddie. And basically, he had no other choice because Mattis was doing something with he had like a ring on, and if he turned a certain way, it would actually make Daytek have some sort of a intense pain. Not exactly sure what it was though, but Yeah, he basically had Daytech at his every whim, and Tommy drive Daytech back home, and Nolan stays back while Eddie with Eddie and Mattis. Nolan is planning to give Mattis to Eddie when he learns that the Republic doesn't really want him to try him, but to use him for making new weapons. When he learns that, he kills Mattis. Connor arrives at the scene, and when he sees that Mattis is dead, saying Nolan he is saying Nolan that he this is not his saying to Nolan that this is not his jurisdiction. Eddie takes the blame of Mattis's death, and he is getting arrested. Talk about right in front of everyone. I don't see how the fuck they don't realize that they're just lying. All right. Meanwhile, Quentin, played by Justin Rain, is studying the book and the artifacts his brother left behind to understand what Luke was trying to do. Nikki, played by Fionnuala Flanagan, sees him and she shows interest in his findings. Quentin tells his brother by Graham Greens about it. He advises him to destroy the book, the artifacts, and everything that has to do with the subject because they are the reason his brother is dead and not is dead and not only. Quentin is willing. He also says that Quentin, his father, and his mother could, or and I mean, Quentin is do crazy. Meantime, Birch, played by Stephen McCarthy, breaks into Rafe's house to find the artifact. When Quentin gets back home, they struggle and Quentin kills him, edged by another version of his brother Luke. The episode ends showing us that Eddie, while being transported by the Earth Republic forces, gets a bag of powder, the same as Mattis used to escape from his boot. Nolan and Irissa talking about Eddie and Quentin disposing Birch's body in the mines. So yeah, and that pretty much what happened in this episode. So this episode of Defiance was really of I have heard before, and I'm pretty sure it's being amazing. Alright, the direction is really good as well. I think this is one better Defiance. I think I haven't seen any of the others always funny, but yeah, I really end up breaking out for it. It actually kind of makes me wonder if he's gonna end up being in this episode or in this series in the future because of that. I really love the scenes in this episode with Eddie and Nolan together. All right, so I really hope that Eddie's in the series in the future, and also about Yule. He's gotta have something exciting. All right, I mean, there just has to be something because he just acted so fucking suspicious in this episode with what supposedly Mattis knew about him, and he answered her right away, and then he so sketchily just says, "You must have me confused with someone else." I never. And then fucking breaks out with an explosion, which must have been from. I mean, it all adds up here to the fact that you were something. All right, I really. And also that freaking old woman, I forget her name, but yeah, she's definitely bad news. Then again, frickin' Rafe is frickin' rich. You think, and I think he played off as a very dangerous man who can buy is just that much more